Hey, Kerrie.
Hello. Thank you for having me. So excited.
Yes, I am so excited. Now, guys, we were talking a whole lot before the show, and I had to like stop us from talking so that I could capture it all for you guys because Kerrie is like the woman. Like people say the man, but like she is the woman. Like she knows her stuff. Like if you have ever thought about building a product-based business or just doing something in that type of arena, this is definitely the podcast episode for you. Now, selfishly, I am excited to talk to her for me personally. So, as you listen to us talk, you're going to hear me ask a lot of questions about me, but just insert yourself in that. And I'll try my best to like not talk about me all the time, but she's here. And so, we're going to take advantage of all that. So, Kerrie, can you first just kind of tell us who you are, what you do, and how you kind of got into all of this?
Absolutely. I'm so excited to chat with you. So thank you. So my name is Kerrie Fitzgerald, and I'm the founder of E-commerce Society. And really, for the last 8 years, I have been in the e-commerce physical product space. I started my first business in 2016. It was a high-end pet subscription box and e-commerce store. And that was sort of my first taste of being an entrepreneur. And I've really just been addicted to it, like most of us, really ever since. And I've launched a couple other businesses since then. Right now, I'm doing more consulting and education for people who want to start a physical product business or
Mm.
grow. And I'm kind of all about growing a business that is going to be profitable for you. So, helping people choose the right product, which is super important because a lot of
Mhm.
times you have an idea for a product and it may come with some challenges. So,
Mhm.
yeah, so it's a little bit about my journey and how I got into it, kind of randomly, honestly. My background is in marketing and sales, but
Mm.
mainly in international education. So I used to basically get paid to travel around the world and promote studying abroad in the US to
Oh,
international
shoot.
students. So as
Yeah.
someone who loves traveling, as we talked about earlier,
Hmm.
love traveling and experiencing different cultures and things like that. So that was a dream job. But basically, in 2015, I had a child. We moved across the country from Boston to California for my husband's job. And I kind of
Hmm.
got this like chance to start fresh in some sense.
Hmm.
And literally, I was at the gym one day and I got an idea that popped into my head. It sounds so quacky, but I literally say it was like a gift from the universe because I had
Hmm.
never thought about starting a business, never, not one
Hmm.
time. And I literally got an idea as I was doing a leg machine. You should start an e-commerce store. You should start a product-based business. And I like the idea popped into my head and I kind of thought about it. Then I was like, okay, well, like that sounds interesting, but like what
Hmm.
industry? And eventually I settled on the pet industry because I'm obsessed with pretty much any animal, but in particular dogs.
Yeah.
And I, could use my own experience having my dog who's now 12, but at the time she was younger. And I kind of ran with it. I got the idea. I started the business called the Dapper Dog Box in
Hmm.
2016. And literally it was an idea. I got at the gym. And the second I kind of thought about it, I knew, okay, this is like my new path. I don't know. It sounds weird, but I'm very intuitive. So when I
Yeah.
get those like signs or whatever, I really do. I listen to my gut and my heart. So
Hmm.
anyway, that's kind of it. And after 3 years, I grew that business. I sold it in 2019, and now I'm kind of doing the thing now. And I'm also in the process of starting a new pet business as well. So I'm very excited to get
Wow.
back in the e-commerce space. So yeah.
Wow, that is exciting. Now, listen, there's some people who get their ideas in the shower, and then, like you said, you got yours on the leg press. Like one of the things I know about us is that, like, whether you believe in God, the universe, whomever, it's always
Mhm.
talking. It's always talking. It's so creative. And if we just have these like intuitive moments where we're like, wait, what? Or we don't ignore the thing that we get. Like, as a
Yep.
lot of people, they get that and they just kind of chuck it away or they go, that was crazy or whatever. But
Mhm.
you said, that's interesting. Let me, kind of go into that. And then fast forward to where it is now and what you're starting now. It's like, I
Yeah,
guarantee you that you're like, you never would have thought that that one idea you had on the leg press would lead you to today.
absolutely. And I couldn't agree more. I do think we do get signs and like
Hmm.
signals, and sometimes we ignore them and sometimes we don't. I think it depends on like
Hmm.
what we have going on in life, but
Yeah.
I was in this like transitional period and like open to a new idea. So And no, I had no idea. Even when I was building that business, I had no idea that it would kind of lead me to where I am today. Like I've written a book, I sold the business, and now I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of, clients and students throughout programs, helping them launch businesses, grow their, like it's so impactful. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes, like, at least for me, I think back, like, what if I never took that idea? What if I never left that job, to move to
Mhm.
California? I feel like my life would be so boring. So
Mhm.
it's funny to think about that.
Yeah. I want you to flex a little bit. Tell us like where, because you sold it, like where did it go before you sold it and now you're into your other adventures?
Yeah. So I knew after like 2 years, so I had the business for 3 years, and I knew at probably about this when I went to hit year two, I kind of knew I wanted to sell it, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But the problem is that when and this is a great tip for anyone who wants to start a physical product business, when you're getting in that burnout phase, that's not the time to sell. It's the
Mm-mm.
time to sell is when you have the most profit as humanly possible. So if
Hmm.
you're thinking that you're wanting to do something else, focusing on making the most amount of profit is because that's what they pay for, a profit. That's pretty much like for the most part what they care about. You'll get like a certain X amount return on profit. But
Hmm.
yeah, I kind of knew I wanted to sell. So I started talking to some people. I found a business broker. And then basically for 6, 8 months, I doubled down as much as humanly possible to get as much profit.
Yeah.
And then I work with a broker to sell the business. And that was a really amazing, like I had such a great process through that. Like I found one person, she did all the things for me. She helped me find a buyer. I think I had maybe 4 conversations with potential buyers.
Hmm.
One person like came and met me at a Starbucks in Seattle. And yeah, it was super easy. So I sold it to another pet business who was doing really well on Amazon. I think they then sold it to another subscription box company, and then I think it actually closed last year, which is, it's a
Oh,
little sad, but it's fine. I feel like it's weird when you grow a business. And I think that's the biggest difference between doing a service business and a product business. Like, I think you truly have a different attachment to a product business because you're shipping it, you're getting inventory. Like, it's like a little human or something.
yeah.
I was so sad to like sell it, but now I have zero, like literally zero emotional attachment whatsoever. And it sounds
Mm.
really cold, but so anyway, I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I don't care that it's sold. Like I did the best I could with it. I moved on with life. Um, I think that was what you asked me, and I'm sidetracking. So yeah, that's kind of the process of selling it. It was a really great process. I think,
Wow.
focusing on profit as much as possible. And so planning to sell, not just saying, I don't feel like doing this anymore, and then like listing your
Yeah.
business. So
No, that's good. That's
yeah.
amazing. That's so cool that you were able to get the business to a sellable place. A lot of us, me included, build these businesses that are not necessarily sellable. It's like right now, one of the things we're focused on in my company is we've got the Keenya Kelly brand, but now we're focusing on my actual company being the brand and making the slow shift there. Cause I'm like, not that I'm old, but it's like I don't want to be doing this when I'm 60. So I've got to do the thing that's gonna be sellable. And so we're kind of making that like slow shift now. So I think I love how you're talking about how you did that.
Mhm.
Okay, so I know people are like, okay, so but what are you doing? So tell me exactly what is your I think society? What is it you're doing now?
So e-commerce society, yeah. So that's my current business, and I kind of offer a few different things, but I have doing consulting. So if someone wants to start a business, I often have calls with them, and we talk through all the basic things. So like, what
Mm,
product do I sell? What's the best industry to sell in? What
mm,
business model do I do? Because with the physical product, there's a lot of different like channels that you can sell on.
yeah,
Like you could do drop shipping, you can do print on demand. You can do, like having your own. So anyway, I can talk through any of those if you want me to
for sure.
dive
No,
deep.
that's
But
good.
yeah, like just like the basic foundational things, because oftentimes when someone says, I want to start a physical product business, I want to make candles, I want to sell
Mhm.
sweatshirts, I want to sell journals, they don't know how to get started. They don't know,
Correct.
where do I find the product? How do I do it? How do I set up a store? Like there's so much that you don't know.
Mm,
And so
me
those are a lot
included.
of the things that I help people get started with. And I love it so much. I love helping people get started because I know for me, when I was starting, there was no courses or like coaches back then. And there may
Right.
have been, but I just didn't know about them. Now it's like you can find everything you could ever want on YouTube or online courses or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are a lot of the things I do. I also have a podcast, YouTube. But I work with people to help them grow their business as well. I have a couple online programs,
Oh, nice.
mostly organic growth. So I don't focus on advertising at all. But basically, how do you create your customer super fans? How do you
Yeah.
get your repeat customers? How do you create your own Shopify store online website? So I kind of focus on a lot of those things, but I love
Yeah.
helping people start. I think there's
Hmm.
just something special about helping someone take an idea or a vision in their head and like actually bring it to life when they don't know how to do it. So I
For
absolutely
sure.
love that.
Yeah, and that listening to you makes me very excited because like you guys, as Kerrie and I were talking, because like I went to an event in DC and everybody had a product and I was teaching them about TikTok and TikTok Shop, and I
Mhm.
left there with this feeling of, oh man, I wish I had a physical product, but also having the feeling of
Love
like,
it.
oh man, I don't want to have to do all the shipping and all that. And so I kind of
Mhm.
posted on Threads and she responded to me. And then we decided to together to, come together today on on podcast. And so when I was reading over through her last week and this week, I'm like, okay, this is a great time for me to like go coach me, tell me what to do because I know what I'm doing in my space, but I have
Mhm.
zero understanding from a product standpoint. But also, I've been connected with TikTok, talking to them about how to help people sell better on Shop and not, but if I know how to do products and all that, I may be able to have my own shop. So
Mhm.
I know we're talking about doubling your profits using the product base. So I want you to we'll let you go take me as a case study, and I'm gonna try to take notes too, sort of, kind of, not be like typing while you guys can hear it. Um, but we'll have Kerrie take me through a journey of what she thinks and how she feels, because I don't have an idea for a product whatsoever, but she does what she does, so her brain is already going to do what it's going to do. So, and then if you guys, as you guys listen to this, like walk yourselves through this same process with us, and then if you know you're going to need somebody to help you, you want more coaching on this, I am not your girl. We'll have Kerrie's information in the show notes on email and all that. So if you got questions, don't I'm not your girl. You'll reach out to her. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right, Kerrie, go have at it. Do what you want to do, and I'm gonna take notes.
Okay. So the first thing I want to say is, especially for people who, I know that your audience, you have a lot of people like learning TikTok and all that.
Mhm.
So I would say if you have an audience of people who they already like you, they already know you've spent all this time creating content, you maybe you're an online course creator or, business coach, whatever, and you have spent all this time building trust with those people. When you launch a physical product that fits in with what you're kind of already talking about in some capacity or fits in with your brand, you have an audience of people that are ready to buy. And that is a
Mhm.
huge value because the average person like myself, when I started 8 years ago, I started with zero audience. I had no
Mhm.
one ready to buy other than the small amount of people that were on my email list. So it's harder for like the average person to start and have a successful launch. I think launches are totally overrated with e-commerce because it doesn't matter if you launch with 20 sales or 500 sales. The point of your business is to continue to get in front of new people to get them to buy. So it doesn't really matter so much about your launch. But when you have an audience of people like you, for example, you have built up this huge. I'm not sure what your TikTok number is, but I know it's a lot. Um, you already have so many people who like would love to buy from you. They watch your videos, they connect with you. I met you at Rick Marty's mastermind and I was like, oh my
Yes.
gosh, like I remember your laugh. Like you just had this amazing laugh. And that's the kind of thing like you connect with people on those levels. And then when you're like, oh, hey, we just came out with a candle or a journal or
Yeah.
a sweatshirt with a saying, all those people will be ready to buy from you. So it's a
Yeah.
no brainer. I just had to start off this conversation by saying that
Oh,
because a
thanks.
lot of people don't understand that when they have an audience of people ready to buy, you're missing an opportunity by not having a physical product. So
I
start with
agree. Hmm.
that. And then I think for someone, not if you have an inkling or an idea like, oh, that would be really cool to start a product-based business. Where do I start? What do I sell? So the first thing I would say, if we're going to use you as an example, what think about hobbies. So hobbies are a really important thing. Maybe if we're not using your business as a hobby, but
Mhm.
in general, like what are hobbies that you like to do? Hobbies are some, or not that you like to do necessarily, that hobbies that people like to do. Hobbies are things that people always spend money on. So if you can't think of a product or an idea or a niche or an industry,
Mhm.
many people will say, I know I want to start a skincare brand, or I know I want to start a
Mm.
shoe company, or like I know I want to create a journal or something. But sometimes you
Mm.
don't know, you don't have any idea. So start with like hobbies. People will always pay money for hobbies. Like if
Yes.
you like to kayak, if you like to, like, I love dog walking. And guess what
Uh-huh.
product I'm starting right now? I'm launching a really super fun, trendy dog poop bag.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? You know what I
Yes.
mean? So anyway, so hobbies are like a no-brainer. And then the second part is that if you are like, again, someone like you have an audience, you're a business mentor, you're an educator, you do all these
Mhm.
amazing things. Is there something that makes sense for your brand? So is there like, I always like to say, is there a saying that you always say? Is there something that
Mhm.
you say all the time that you're kind of known for, but also if like someone would want to buy it? So for example, I love the word obsessed. I say obsessed all the time. And I think for me, it would be normal to create a really cool hoodie or a sweatshirt or even a journal that said the word obsessed on it. It doesn't mean that people want to buy it, but it's just a starting point of an idea.
Mhm.
Another person I worked with, she is a business coach. She has huge audiences. She's always wearing hair scrunchies. She always wore hair scrunchies in her videos, on Zoom calls, and her mastermind things on Instagram. And she kind of said one day, I kind of want to start a scrunchie business. Like, can you help me? And I was like, oh my God, that's genius. It makes
Yeah.
sense for her brand. She's already using scrunchies. So I think an easy point, or like, okay, I know you like Pat Flynn, and I'm obsessed with Pat Flynn. So Pat Flynn, I was on his podcast a few months ago, and he talked about like why he started SwitchPod,
Mhm.
his product business company. And it makes so much sense. He's someone who literally, he's like the king of YouTube, like bazillion
Mhm.
followers. He's always on video. So of course he creates a product that helps people
Mhm.
record videos. So it
Yeah.
like when you have a product that makes sense with what you're kind of doing right now, it's such a no-brainer. It doesn't have to be like that intertwined, but
Yeah.
if you can kind of create that connection. So for you, like off the top of my head, thinking about what you teach and your audience, you know, is there something that you could create? And there's so many options here, but like, is there something that you could create that would possibly help people use TikTok in an easier way? Whether it's like something on the phone to hold the phone, or I don't know, like
Mhm.
there's something like that to do with video or the phone that it's totally related to like TikTok.
Yeah.
You know what I
Or
mean?
related to video, just in case TikTok gets
Yes.
banned, right?
Video. Yes. So in
Yeah.
particular, video. Yeah. Like how do people make videos easier, better? Like there's a lot of opportunities, and it does not have to be, you don't have to invent something. I think
Right.
the other, I'm trying to think of the word and I can't think of it. The other like objection that people will say was like, oh, well, there's already those, I don't know what they're called, but like those little things that you plug in the back of your phone and you can like hold it with your finger. Like there's
Yeah.
already those things, or there's already phone holders and things like that. But it doesn't matter. It's actually like your brand and your audience and all the stuff that you've already built is what's going to like skyrocket whatever product
Yeah.
you sell. It kind of doesn't matter that it already exists. But when
Yeah.
you put your own twist on it and your
That
fun
is smart.
branding and that kind of thing, like that's how you kind of make yours different than other people. But the easiest thing is like, is there something that completely relates to like what I'm teaching or what I already talk about,
Yeah.
or something along those lines? So I think for you, like a video, something or other is a
You know,
no-brainer.
the one thing that I'm thinking is as you were talking, so first off, the first thing came to my mind was a journal, because that's like my not my TikTok
Yeah.
audience, but my Facebook audience knows that every single year in November I'm encouraging them to get journals. So I'm like, that's more of a Yes, so a journal would be awesome.
Yep.
But I think that the bigger, broader audience, like you said, is something that is related to my phone. And
Hmm.
the thing that I thought of was it could be a clickable light. It could be already out there, but it gets
Love
branded to
that.
me where it can come
Yep.
on, the phone. And
Hmm.
then I also thought about a like a stand. So not quite the little
Hmm.
circle that you put your finger in, but it's kind of like something that connects to the back of my phone. And then when you open it, you can leave it, you can stand it this way and it can like pull out that way, like it can
Hmm.
so those of you guys, you can't see me, but I'm talking about like if we're out somewhere and we need to take a video, need to take a selfie, need to prop it up. We need things to prop things up. And I'm like, what if I had something connected that's magnetic to the back of my phone
Mm.
that when they're ready, they can just take it out of their purse and then magnetically put it on the back of their phone, pull it
Yep.
down, it gives them a tripod, or they can turn it to the side and it
Mm.
gives them a tripod. I'm like,
Love it.
that would be awesome. But so here you have this idea.
Hmm.
How do you move forward? How do you get help to like create it? Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Absolutely. So once you kind of have an idea, and that's a starting point. So you get a Google Doc, start mapping out
Mhm.
any idea that comes to your head. It's literally a
Mhm.
starting point. The next thing that you want to do is, I always say, make sure that the product that you're selling is something that people actually need.
Mhm.
So fluffy products, I'm not going to use examples, but like a fluffy product that we make just for fun, like that isn't the best product idea. It has to be something that people are searching for. So for you, if you're like, okay, I kind of want to do something with phone or like a video or like a phone device or a phone attachment or something like that, you
Mhm.
want to first go to either Trend Hunter. I'm not going to say TikTok. Everyone says, "Oh, go to TikTok for ideas." I'll say no to that, only because oftentimes a lot of the stuff I see from people promoting on TikTok are kind of like random things that they're like cutesy for today. They're trendy, but they're not going to
Mhm.
last. You want to find something that like makes sense for the longevity. Because again, we're
Mhm.
building a brand that we can, I'll always say sell. We want to
Yeah.
think of this as an asset that we can actually grow and sell. So the more your product solves a pain point for people, you will have a million time easier job to sell that product to customers. So,
Okay.
ideally it's a product that is it solves a pain point for your customer. So again, what you just talked about with the way that it could take pictures or it can be held or like a tripod situation,
Mhm.
amazing. All the things. I love the clickable light, amazing. Like they solve clear pain points for people.
Yes.
So you want
So
to,
I'm curious before you
oh
keep
yeah,
going. You said
yeah,
go to
sure.
Trend Hunter. So while we're live right now, I went to Trend Hunter and I'm going, okay. So what is oh my God, I think I just found exactly what I was just talking about.
Really? Oh, I love it.
Yeah. I see it. It's like right there. Yeah. Go ahead. Go
That's
ahead. Keep
so
going.
funny.
So what do
No,
you do once you go
so
to Trend Hunter?
you just have to like plug in the product that you're looking for and you get information. So what you're trying to find, and not just Trend Hunter, but like you can go to, I'm trying to think of some other ones that are good, but to be honest with you, my favorites are easy things, SEO tools. So SEO tools are things like Uber Suggest, and you may have used that in your current business. So I'm a marketer. I love all things like SEO. But
Mm-hmm.
basically, you go to ubersuggest.com. You can do a free trial. You can also get 3 free searches per day. You go to
Mm-hmm.
keywords and you plug in your idea. So, like video tripod, phone holder, mobile ring light or something,
Okay.
dog poop bags, biodegradable poop bags or something, which are things that I'm currently looking up. And you get an understanding of how many people are searching for that per month.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're figuring out is this product that I'm thinking of something that people actually want to buy? So this is such an
Mm-hmm.
important part. And there's no magic number, but for example, if you are looking up a device for a phone and you go and you plug it into Uber Suggest and it says it's getting 0 monthly searches versus a different product idea that you might have and you plug it into Uber Suggest in the keywords feature and it has 10,000 monthly searches. Well, that's a
Mm-hmm.
great number. Anything in the thousands, it tells you that people are searching for this. And that's kind of all you need to know. And so from
Wow.
there, what you want to do is there's a few different options. So again, you talked about journals.
Mhm.
I love a journal. I think you can make a
Yeah.
journal into something so specific for your audience and
Hmm.
things that you talk about or teach. So I actually really like that idea.
Oh, good.
But if you're wanting to, so okay, the next step is like, how do I what business model do I want? So there's something called, for example, print on demand. This
Hmm.
is like a really easy barrier to entry into physical products. I don't recommend it for the most part to people, but if you're wanting to sell things like apparel, sweatshirts, simple like notebooks with maybe just like a phrase on the cover or design, things that you can brand with a logo or a phrase or like an illustration of some kind and sell that, those are a great way to get started because you literally could start today. You can go to like Printful or Printify and you open up an account with them, you drop a logo or a design onto like a sweatshirt or a sneaker or a hat, and you could literally sell those today. You could then connect that to
Mm.
an Etsy store. So it's like really low barrier to entry, but also the quality isn't always great. So like I don't really
Right.
recommend that. However, it's really good if you're wanting to do things with apparel because you can validate an idea. You can say, okay, I'm gonna like put this out there. And if people buy it, that tells me that they like it, then I can go and find somewhere else, like a manufacturer or a supplier to make a better quality. So
Hmm.
I would say that if you're wanting to do something with tech, video, the ideas for you, you want to go to probably a place called Alibaba,
Hmm.
Alibaba. It's I believe the biggest supplier in the world, if not one of the top suppliers. It's mainly where people will get products from overseas. And
Hmm.
then what you could do is you could find the product that you're looking for. They have anything you could ever dream of. So whatever video device you're looking for, Alibaba will have it. And then what
Hmm.
you want to do is you want to look at things like MOQ, which is minimum order quantity.
Hmm.
What's the minimum that I have to buy to then sell to a customer? So you want to obviously look for MOQs that are like low or flexible because you're just kind
Yeah.
of thinking of an idea, but it also can be expensive if they require you to have like huge quantities. So
Correct.
you're doing like maybe a light for a phone or a tripod or something, looking at something that maybe has like 100 MOQ or maybe
Hmm.
a couple hundred or something. But anyway, you want to kind of start looking for suppliers. And
Hmm.
then that's easier said than done. But honestly, you can kind of scroll through, you can do filters of like top suppliers or suppliers that have been around for 5 years or more. And then you just
Hmm.
reach out to them and oftentimes they'll have the price of the product. So if you're looking for maybe a tripod, maybe it's like $1 or something.
Yeah.
You can then look at the MOQ and then you can reach out and say, hey, like I'm interested in getting a sample. Oftentimes they'll say, oh, it's free
Oh,
samples,
okay.
but you pay for
Okay.
shipping. So I just
Yeah.
literally got 3 batches of samples from China for poop bags
Oh,
and free, but then you pay for shipping. So it's like 30
yeah.
bucks each one, which is, that's
Oh,
okay.
shoot.
You got to get samples, you got to test the
Yeah.
product, make sure it's good quality.
100%.
And that's kind of the start of it. Like it can be that
Yeah.
easy-ish. The more important is the product idea. Like it has to be something that
Yeah.
people want, that I would say people are searching for. Does it solve a pain point for someone? If the answers are yes to those two questions, you have a winning product. It may not be
Hmm.
trending on TikTok right now, but it's something that will last over time because it's a problem that people will always have. So
Yes.
those
So,
are
good question. So, I know print on demand, they will print them and ship them and all that. But
yeah.
companies like Alibaba, you have to order and then you're doing the shipping.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
So
So, for
you
your new business, are you going to be doing the shipping for the poop bags?
I am to start off with. Yeah. It's
Okay.
something that over time, I will outsource to an outside company to ship it for me. But
Yeah.
in the beginning, I will do it myself. And when I say I will definitely probably try to find someone in my neighborhood who will come over to my house and help me with that because I did that for 3 years and I have no interest in shipping product. It's not fun. Yeah. But
Right.
you just have to create systems and you have to find other people who can help you and do it for you. Like
Mhm.
it's something that can be outsourced really easily. And then as your business grows, it's really easy to find. They're called 3PL basically an outside company who you ship product to and then they ship it for you. So there's so many
Ah,
companies that do that. So I know a lot of people get really hung up on the like I don't want to have to ship the product. To be honest with you, I think it's a really good opportunity to learn because if you do print on demand, right? And I literally created a print on demand product for a video, a YouTube
hmm.
video. It took me like an hour and I literally set up an entire print on demand store as an example to show a client of mine. And in under like 1 hour, I literally had a hoodie ready to be shipped out. And it's like kind of ridiculous because that's not really how easy it should be to start a physical product business. But you can like if you want to just test hoodies or test journals with like a design or a fun saying or something like you can do that. But to be honest with you, part of having an e-commerce business is learning those things like ordering products, getting it shipped to you,
Yeah.
understanding the packaging, understanding how to create an awesome experience for customers, like
Hmm.
all these really important things that actually build a brand that people are obsessed with. That's not going to happen from like a print on demand store. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So print on
Yeah.
demand can be a good starting point for you to test and validate an idea. But in the end, like learning how the shipping process works, learning how, dealing with customer service issues, totally stink, but they teach you so much about what your customers like about your brand and what they don't like. And so it's all
Yeah.
really good learning experience. And I think for someone who wants to do it, it's good for you to be involved for like a short period of time because you truly learn a lot of cool things that you may not have ever learned. So, and then
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I know what to do now. Now I can manage someone else to do this for me.
Yes. Yeah. So I have one other question. So when it comes
Yeah.
to let's just say that we had journals or someone, for example, journals, and
Hmm.
I have them, if it's not print on demand, but I have 100 journals that I've gotten printed by Alibaba. Well, no, they don't print, right? They don't print on them, do they? You just buy them in bulk.
You can customize
Oh,
journals.
okay. You
Yeah.
can.
You
Okay.
anything that you could ever want to buy for a product, you can get from Alibaba. Everything can be
Okay.
customized, branded. So your video piece would be branded with your logo, your colors, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. You can do all
Okay.
that. Hmm.
So then my question is, because I remember when I was selling my book, it was like I could get one order in today, another order in 5 days.
Yep.
When you were first in your house, how were you managing like the amount of times you were going to the post office? Because that's annoying. You know what I mean?
Oh, I lived at the post office.
I bet.
I still have like when I see the post, if I have to go to a post office, my anxiety increases instantly. Like it gives me anxiety because I literally spent 3 years of my life dropping packages off a million times.
Yeah.
When you first launch a business, it's kind of like, all right, let's see how many orders we get. And then as your business grows, I think you can kind of get on a schedule where you have a good idea of how many orders you probably will get. But what I would recommend is always creating a schedule. So knowing, okay, and for a product business, shipping is super important. You have to be really
Hmm.
transparent. Like think about yourself as a consumer. When you go to a website, you're going to buy jeans and there's no information on when this product will ship, how long it's going to ship, where it's shipping from, and then you don't
Hmm.
buy. You're like,
Yep.
forget it. I'm just going to go to Amazon because at least on Amazon,
Yep.
I know 2 days at my house and I can return it if they don't fit. So you have to make things like that really clear with customers. So having a good schedule for yourself, like for example, I know
Hmm.
with my poo bag business, I'm probably just going to say in my website, on my Shopify store, on my product pages, products will ship out every Tuesday and Friday. And then
Hmm.
so okay, if I order on a Wednesday, I know that the product will be shipping in 2 days or something.
Yeah.
You just have to have some indication for shipping for customers.
Yeah.
And then for you, like you have the customers want things fast. Okay, that's a no-brainer.
Hmm.
However, you can create your own schedule. Like you don't have to be Amazon. You don't have to ship stuff
Hmm.
every single day. So you can literally say, okay, 3 days a week we will ship product, but we won't ship on the weekend or something. And like that's your boundary. So I know
Yeah.
with my first business, I had zero boundaries. I would ship stuff every single day. I won't do that again. I'll have clear, like on the website, on the product pages, these are the days that we ship. And then if there's holidays, you can add caveats to that. But I think you don't have to go crazy with like, we're going to ship every single day, but customers expect that. So,
Yeah, that makes
you,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah, and it is full disclosure. I think that having when someone is buying something and you're saying I
Hmm.
ship, they just know and they're able to go, able to make an informed decision versus
Yeah.
having no
Hmm.
idea. It's a lot less customer service issues in that regard if they already know
Yes.
this is what you can expect and all that. Okay.
Yeah.
So last question about that. So are you,
Sure.
when you, let's just say you're ordering from Alibaba, are you also
Mhm.
ordering the packaging and stuff from there too? Like the
You
shipping things?
can. Yeah, you can order. So for product, so you're gonna do I'm gonna just assume that you're gonna do this. So I'm just gonna say when you order your tripods, you can also order like little inserts that go in the packaging that, have your
Mm,
face on it. This is a brand, like thanks for shopping our small business. Follow us on TikTok, post a video. So you could create your inserts that could go in
mm,
the packaging, the same supplier. You could create, so if you're doing a tripod, you're going to need an exterior box of some
mm-hmm.
kind. You can order that from Alibaba. You would work with a designer beforehand and create a design for it, and they'll give you the dimensions for packaging and things like that. And then you could have everything shipped at one time. And then in the US, ideally, you could probably also get this from Alibaba as well. I haven't personally ordered um, well, actually, that's not true. I have ordered packaging from them. Never mind. I for like my poop bag business, for example, I'll be getting my poop bags printed, the boxes that the poop bags will go in, the insert, and then I'm probably just gonna do something local for my like the packaging that the box or the poly mailer stuff will go in.
Oh, uh-huh.
But you can do everything from Alibaba. It kind of just depends on things, but um, with packaging, there's so many fun options. You could do poly mailers, which are those like thin bags that you probably
Yeah.
like if you order apparel, like so much sweatshirts, t-shirts will come in a poly mailer bag, but you can make a fun design on. I'm all about customer experience. So
Yeah.
in my opinion, the product is just a piece of it. Actually, your website, your checkout process, your packaging, what you put in the packaging, all that is part of the customer experience. And I think for me, that's one of the most important parts to when you're thinking of building a brand that customers are obsessed with and that will come back again and again. So I am like a packaging. I just like I'm kind of a snob. I kind of
Yeah, me too.
like
And people love to
packaging.
do unboxings. So you want to give people like
Exactly.
this opportunity of like,
Yep.
it's like I have people all the time that say, I'm gonna film this as an unboxing. And I do it all the time too. They didn't
Yep.
ask me to, but because it's so the way it showed up, I
Yes.
want to do it. So it's like, so that
Mhm.
makes a lot of sense about being very intentional. Like, whatever I have a product or someone else has a product, to not just think about, let me make a bunch of money selling products, but
Yep.
let me make it to where my customers not only love what they receive, they love the entire
Mhm.
experience from the moment they saw me, the
Yep.
checkout, the process of waiting. It could be our email that's saying, "Hey, it's coming. It's on the way," or whatever we
Exactly.
do. And then when they actually get it, we want them to have that feeling of, "Oh my God, I'm so excited to open this." But
Yeah.
also, I think maybe a benefit is like if it's so pretty or so well put together, people
Mhm.
want to shoot photos of it, videos of it. They want
Yes.
to post it, not because you asked them to, it because they just want to, which is what happens to me all the time when I get something.
Me too. Yeah. And you're exactly right. You have to be super strategic with getting UGC from customers.
Mhm.
And the more you one ask for it, like I always tell people you should put a call to action for UGC on your actual packaging.
Mhm.
Like show us your blank. And then it's like whatever product you're selling, show us your product. We want to see it, like blah, blah, blah. Put your hashtag, put your TikTok handle or Instagram handle or whatever. For my first business, I used to do that. And again, different industries, you're going to get a higher level of people who will post video and stuff. But I had
Mhm.
a pet business. And so I would do a monthly photo contest and I would tell my customers, I would tell them on the packaging, on the inserts, in the post purchase email sequence. We want to see a picture of your dog with the favorite product from our box. Tag us here. Each month we choose one person and you get a free product or you get a free box of like
Oh,
goodies. And
yeah.
I would get hundreds and hundreds of people every month who would post about my brand. And in their head, they're like, I just want to get a free thing. And I want to like my dog to, I'm hoping that my dog will get reposted on this Instagram
Yeah.
account. But for the brand, you're getting your stuff, it's free advertising. You're getting your stuff
Mhm.
in front of all those people who already like you, their audience. And with especially with like pet industry, beauty, skincare, apparel, these are like highly shareable
Yeah.
niches and industries. And so when someone shares a picture of like a fun sweatshirt or jewelry or something, their friends or followers will be like, "Oh my gosh, like that's beautiful. I want to get that too." I mean, how many times have we been influenced by
Yeah.
things that we see on social media, like all the time?
Yeah.
And so the more you're asking customers to take photos or do unboxings, you'll get more of it. But it starts with really beautiful packaging and giving the customers a good experience, like from the
Yeah.
beginning. Like I said, website checkout, not having crazy high shipping charges,
Right.
packaging and things like that. So I could kind
Yeah.
of go on and on. So I'll cut myself off there.
So that's amazing. I took like so many notes, and I'm like, and I looked at Alibaba many years ago, and I haven't gone there. And you just reminded me. I'm like, duh, it's all like kind of right there. And it's not like I don't know how to hire like or have like a not a, I mean a paid student intern that could be a part of with me. They're at my house and they're getting paid to be
Mhm.
there. I'm not necessarily paying a huge shipping company yet, but there's these huge opportunities, and like where I'm moving into Houston, there's all these different like community rooms where I could be. That's where I fill my packages every month, and it's where I spend my time with my intern. So
Mhm.
there's huge like things. So those of you guys that are listening, like if you have been thinking about starting a product-based business, like she said a lot. I wrote down the Uber Suggest. I didn't know Neil Patel owns Uber
Yes.
Suggest.
Yes. Oh my God. It's literally it is, I'm obsessed with that. Like, it is the best tool. You get so
Wow.
much information on like product knowledge, market research, everything. It's the best. Yeah.
Wow. Does he own
I'm
Answer the
obsessed.
Public too?
Yeah. I think he acquired it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it's very smart. I was like, I saw it, I was like, that's a smart man.
It's, he's so good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
He's
for
so good.
sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So Kerrie, this was for me, it was very eye-opening. I know people that are watching on YouTube or listening to the show are like, Keenya, wow. So because of that, can you tell them if they want to work with you, how can they get in touch with you and all that?
Absolutely. And if, yeah, anyone who you have an idea for something, please reach out. This is like my favorite thing in the whole world. Like
Mm,
doing what we just did. Like you have an idea, but let's talk through opportunities. Let's get rid of the bad ideas that you might have that are going to cause you to make no money. So I
mm.
love it. Please reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram. That's definitely a great place to chat. Kerrie.a.fitzgerald, and that's Kerrie. My website, kerriefitzgerald.com. I have my podcast, E-commerce Society. And yeah, those are some great connection points. And yeah, if you have any questions, reach out. And yeah, I do offer 60-minute consulting calls. So those are great for
Mm.
like hashing out product ideas and
Yeah.
launch plans and all that fun stuff that I just geek out over. So I love it.
Yeah. What do you charge for your consulting calls?
299.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's really good. Especially because like most people starting out have no idea what's going on. You're gonna get so much in a 1 hour call. I'm sitting here like, whoa, this is I knew it was gonna be good, but I didn't know what I was gonna get. And I'm just like, that's why I made sure I took like as much notes as possible. But I'm so glad that you came on here. Guys, I know that you guys have gotten a lot out of this episode. Please re-listen to it, rewatch it if you're watching on YouTube, and make sure you reach out to Kerrie. Like, remember, you don't even have to have money to get started with a product-based business, especially if you're doing some type of print on demand or something like that.
Mhm.
So, Kerrie, thank you so much for coming on the show, like for sharing so much that I never would have known about starting a product-based business. And everybody, thank you guys so much for listening and for watching. Bye, you guys.